Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday again. This is going to be part 2 of our epic lane machine tune-up video. Today we're going to do the blue buffer brush, transfer brush, and a good portion of these various items as well. We have oil tank, check valves, a mystery relay. Again, the mystery tubing fittings. I'm not sure. Well, I think I know where they go, but nobody's confirmed yet. So we got cleaner reservoir check valve, water tank reservoir check valve, caps and O-rings for the oil tanks, new plastic oil tanks. I'm not going to bother with oil tank filters right now. We don't need them. Cleaner and water tank filters, yes. Keyway, that goes for the blue buffer brush. New drive belt, new timing belt between buffer and transfer rollers, touchscreen protector, transfer brush, buffer brush. I'm going to do our weekly detailed deep cleaning on this machine first. I'm going to do that off camera. You guys probably don't really care about that, but the thing gets wiped down inside and out weekly. Adjustments are checked, things like that. We're not going to focus on that today. But when that cleaning is done, I'll bring you guys back in and we'll start taking this thing apart. Well, that's not awesome. That got a little bent there. So we're going to have to try and straighten that out a little bit before we put that brush in there. But let's eliminate some parts that we probably don't need. This was done only a few months ago. Those are the O-ring seals that go between the sub tank and the wall that the oil tanks sit in. We're not going to use those. These are probably still good. These items were replaced by me a few months ago. We'll go ahead and put the relay in. Why not? It comes in the kit. We probably don't need oil tank check valves. Those were done somewhat recently. So that leaves us with buffer brush, transfer brush, belts, new tanks, O-rings, filters for water and cleaner. This is going to be a fun one. If you haven't seen these brushes in the vac motor replaced, it's a pain in the ass, but we can do it if we have time. These actually, I changed these out probably 5 months ago, so we probably don't need cleaner and water tank check valves here. Well, cleaner dispensing tip check valve, mystery fittings. So we've got a touchscreen protector, a relay, that check valve, belts, filters, vac brushes, tanks and O-rings, and those two big components. Cool. Looks good. Alright, take 2. Let's try this again. We need to open that slot up so we can fit. That looks good. That looks good. It looks like we've got a 1/4-inch slot now. Let's see if our 1/4-inch bit can fit in there. Almost. We need to go just a hair more. Dang it. Alright, well, I might not catch this on video, but you know what we're doing. Alright, I think we got that opened up pretty good, but we're going to run a file in here. Just to open it up ever so slightly more. And I did leave a burr. A little bitty burr right there. So we're going to work that open and then we're good to go. So let's start this project by taking the buffer drive belt off. We're going to need a 9/16 wrench, 1/2-inch wrench, and a 7/16. We're going to start with the idler, the belt keeper, and the belt tension. So we're going to loosen the buffer belt tensioner. This is a 9/16 wrench. Move that away. So now we are loosey-goosey Need a 1/2-inch wrench for the nut on the back side of this belt idler. Not all machines have these. This was a newer upgrade. It helps keep the belt seated in the pulley so that the teeth don't skip excessively, well, or at all. The teeth aren't supposed to skip at all. But older machines, if you're noticing that you might be going through these buffer drive belts excessively, if you don't have one of these, you should reach out to Kegel. They'll get you the part number. They made a retro upgrade kit, so I don't have that part number off the top of my head. If anybody from Kegel is watching, perhaps you can get a part number posted so I don't have to do 100% of the legwork. I should have brought a socket. That's okay. We're nearly there. Yeah, I don't figure it out strong enough to spin it out by hand. That's too bad. I don't know why I keep trying. I know it's not going to work. Almost there. Come on. It's not like it's under any real pressure. There we go. Alright, keep those together. I like to roll the belt off. At this point, we're going to take the belt and force it over the side of the pulley and rotate the buffer brush. There, belt is off. Need to make sure we've got variable speed buffer here, so we've got a buffer tack. We need to make sure we're on a load dwell of the buffer tack cam between the proximity sensor and the buffer tack cam. That's the only way you're going to have enough room to slide that belt out. All right, so our belt's out. Awesome. The next step is going to be right here. That bolt is going to come out. That's the pivot link. There is another one right here. That's going to come out too. And then on the outboard side of the frame, we've got another bolt here as well as right there. Those 4 bolts hold the buffer assembly in. So we need to take those out. But first, I'm going to take the oil dispensing tip off from the other side of the machine. So the oil dispensing tip is going to come out, and we're going to do that because we don't want to run the buffer transfer brushes and crash it into that oil dispensing tip. That would not be good. The other thing we're going to do, let me zoom in a little bit. You see these 2 little silver, focus please, silver headed Phillips screws? We're going to remove those. We're going to take the buffer drip pad off of the assembly. There's one on each side. So each one of those are going to be removed. Let's do that first so that we don't accidentally yank on the tubing lines. This is always easier said than done. Kind of buried screws. They're tiny. They're a little hard to get to. It's doable. If you have a long-handled Phillips head screwdriver, this will be a lot easier for you. As well as making sure that you've got a good Phillips head tip for your screwdriver. Alright, those are out. Let's see if I can save the screws so that I don't lose them. That would not be good. Okay, set that aside and we'll flip you guys around. We'll do the other side. Awkward angle, I apologize. It's probably not going to be the the easiest thing to see, but it's only 2 screws. We'll get through this. I wish this screwdriver is just a little bit longer. I have one in my backpack 4 feet away, but I'm too lazy to go get it. It's got an extendable tip and it goes just a little bit longer than this one. This will work. Ah. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? No, we're not there yet. We're close. Close. There we go. And I dropped a screw. Super. Well, either way, we're about to find it. It couldn't have gone too far. Tuck that away. Make sure that's good. Okay, moving on. I couldn't find that little screw for the drip plate, so that's okay. We're going to move on. What we need to do, pardon me, we're going to take our connecting link off the top. And this one, this would be better if you had, I don't know if you guys can see these. Eklund makes a set of already stubified Allen wrenches, so you don't have to. You're going to need a 3/16 stubby Allen wrench. And we're actually going to go right there. It'll fit. Well, here, you guys probably can't see. You're too far away. So if we look in here, you've got pretty minimal clearance between the Allen wrench and this frame piece. You can take this piece out. It's going to add some extra time and effort into your project, or you can buy these stubby Allen wrenches and get the bolts out without any extra fiddle fucking around. So that's what I chose to do. So let's see if we can get this out. I made that very tight. Can I use my fingers? Sometimes the threads on these are a little tight, so that one tightened back up. So we're going to have to do little tiny turns. There we go. Little tiny turns. These threads get stiff because sometimes they can bump into the side frame wall. Not a big deal. Just makes it a little more tricky coming out. We're nearly there. When we're done with this, we're going to do the top bolt on the other side, and then we will do the bottom bolts. That loosened back up again. Yep, got it right out. Alright, let's switch over to the other side. Well, this bolt's kind of hidden from your perspective where the camera is mounted, but it's right back in here. Same thing. If I can find where I'm at. Okay, that one loosened up. Come on. There we go. Turning a little bit by hand. Yeah, thread's tightened up again. That's okay. Realize that my light is giving me a weird shadow in here that is making it more difficult for me to see. That's a little better. Let's see what I'm doing again. I can see it, but my hands aren't cooperating. Getting a little fatigued. I do not know when the last day I had off was. I don't remember. Yeah, the threads are tightening up again. So, little tiny turns until we're done. Not very much longer to go. Come on. Quarter turn at a time. The good news is there's not a lot of threads on this screw. Please. Please. Yeah, we're nearly there. Yep, it loosened up again. If I can get my fingers in there. Ah. Alright, maybe a couple more quarter turns. It feels loosey-goosey. There we go. There, did you see it drop? Okay. Now, the next side should be easier, since we're already here. We can use a socket wrench on this side. Alright, we want loose, but not all the way disconnected yet. Oh crap, that wasn't even on camera. Oh no, horrible, horrible. That bolt, loose, not disconnected, then we'll jump over to the other side. Well, in all honesty and fairness, I'm a technician, I'm not a cinematographer, right? So, yeah, maybe I messed up a little bit. Forgive me. You can see this side. What you missed before was the left-hand version of this. No biggie. This bolt, however, is coming all the way out. And then we will support the brush on the other side and finish removing that bolt. No problem. Yeah, that's ready to come out. There we go. Now, the entire brush assembly is out. We're going to take note of where this bolt goes through. This is the belt idler. That's going to go right there. So when we put everything back together, we're going to have a short bolt here, two short bolts on that side, and the one long one right here. I messed up the other day, and fortunately I was able to recover and not have to pull the buffer brush back out of the machine. It was yeah, not the funnest thing. So pay attention to where your parts go, where the hardware goes, because they're not 100% all the same. Okay, rant over. We're going to take... we need to do this two-handed. Please. Nope. Fail. Alright, I'll be back in a sec. That bolt was in there way too tight. I don't know if I used an impact last time I assembled this, but holy cow, that was too much. Wow. Yeah, they don't need to be that tight. I gave them too much ugga-duggas last time, huh? Should not. Yeah, they don't need to be that tight. Wow. Shaky, sorry, I don't have Steadicam on. Get out! Oh yeah, that was the the timing belt idler. Oops, that's okay. Well, it's off now. Oh, I messed up. Okay, next step. Whoa, no, you're upside down. Alright, next step. is loosen the set screws on the ends of the bearing block. There are two. I need to rotate. This is getting difficult. Hold on. Since the other side's facing up. Oh, it was. Now I moved it. Epic failures. Like I said, this is not easy. I'm trying to hold the camera with one hand and keep you guys in frame and all squared up. There's our other set screw. Come on, get in there. Please. Okay, that one's loose. There is a set screw in the buffer brush, and good lord, is there no set screw on this one? What? There's no set screw. Oh, weird. Most of the other ones I come across, they have a set screw right over the keyway. Strange. The next step is attempting to get our buffer brush and bearings out from the assembly. And what I'm going to try to do is see if I can lift one end and move that away. If we can, I'm going to take, it doesn't want to come apart. The idea would be to slide the bearing off, but that's not working. So we will go under and out. Just like that. Always more than one way. Running out of bench space here. That's okay. Okay, next step. We're going to separate our transfer brush from the frame. We've got 5 1/4-20 bolts, so we'll need a 7/16 wrench. We're just going to loosen all 5 of those, and the whole transfer brush is going to slide out. Alright, bolts are loose. Just slides out. Next step, we're going to loosen or remove these 2 tiny screws. It's going to be a 5/16 head. What we're going to do, we're going to separate that bearing block from the side frame so we can get our timing belt out, and then we'll bring a new one in. So just like that. Bearing block off. Push it away. Again, one-handed. New timing belt coming in. Can I do it one-handed? I think so. Blocking the view though. But yeah, there we go. New timing belt in. We're going to take this time to thoroughly clean all of this stuff too before we start putting anything else back together. Decided to get you guys stuck back up to the wall so I have 2 free hands to work. It's going to be better that way. It's going to be easier. Everything's wiped down, ready to go. Starting to reassemble. Maybe. There we go. Gotta line it up. Alright. We're just going to hand tighten these little 1/4-20 bolts. We're going to do the adjustments after everything's back together. We just don't want it to fall out. That's all. So we're going to turn that over, set it aside, bring in our buffer brush, and see if we can figure out why the bearings don't want to slide out easily. The set screws on the end of the bearings are loose, and it doesn't want to go anywhere. So, I wonder if we can, Yeah, pry bar. There we go. Just needed a little persuasion. There are 2 set screws for the timing belt, located 90 degrees apart from each other. So we're going to take those loose. There's some hair and smooth on the shaft here that gonna make it a little more difficult for this to come apart. We need to clean it a little bit better. If we remove some of the dirt and the gunk, we should be able to get this pulley off pretty easily. I hope. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. I'm gonna wipe that down a little bit too. Okay. So far, so good. We're gonna do a very similar thing on the other side. Yeah. See if I can. That might be about as far as you're gonna be able to see. But again, same thing. 2 set screws on the bearing collar. These are already loose. Again, let's see if I can. Yeah, no. It does not want to be removed. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Doesn't look like there's any dirt holding it up. It might be burrs from where the set screws anchored into the buffer brush. Maybe we can pry bar it out. Let's at least try. Bigger pry bar. You just need to get, the bearing past where the set screws left their impressions in the shaft. Easier said than done. It's moving. Do they usually come off easier than this? Yes. Why is this having so much trouble? I don't know. Because it's Saturday, maybe? Thinner wrench. Is that going to be a winner? Nope. Not yet. Wow. Impressive, but not in a good way, huh? A couple of taps, maybe. There we go. Gentle love taps. That's out. Ugh. Wish I could go a little bit wider with this, but it is what it is. Front-facing camera on my phone. No zoom. We'll deal with it. All right, new brush coming in. Start on this side. So our buffer shaft here has 2 flat spots cut in it 90 degrees apart. That'll locate our set screws. So we're gonna just get these on loose for now. Both sides. We're on there square. Good. Then we can go ahead and tighten. 1 and 2. We'll bring our bearing back on. We're going to leave those loose. That's going to be the last side to get tightened. Let's swing over. Or, here, I have a better idea. Let's go back over here and do a 180 flip. This is a big piece. Yeah, right there. How's that? Can you guys see? I hope you can. Let's bring our hardware over to, but we have to remember that we need to flip this before we put it back in the frame. That would be bad. What? Do I have burrs on here? No. Just a little tight, that's all. We have our bearing. Ew, that's still got fur on it. Hold on. It's just a spacer, but let's make it a clean spacer. Shall we? Yes. Okay, keyway, we're going to set that aside. The buffer brush comes with a new key. I don't need the install instructions, just the part. There. If anybody from Kegel is watching, why doesn't this one have a set screw when every other one I've ever worked with has a set screw? Is this maybe a manufacturing issue, or is there some other reason? I would love to know. Let's see if we can thread this in, bottom out everything. Yeah, hand tight there. We're not gonna ugga-dugga with even with the little impact. Don't do it. Alright, set screws on the bearing blocks are gonna get tightened. Or, pardon me, the bearing collar. There's one. And two. A little more tighter. Okay, good. Let's flip this over again. Yeah. Oh no, I dropped the bearing. Yeah, that side, I forgot. It was still loosey-goosey. Well, that's okay. Now, let's bring this in. Let's remove that. Let's do this the easy way. Let's feed our timing belt on here, and then put our bearing on. Ta-da! Good. Okay. On this bearing block, can you guys see this milled surface? That needs to go towards the transfer roller adjuster screw. That's where this long bolt lives, so that we can tension our timing belt. I'm just going to start that one by hand. Grab another one of the, oh, where did they go? The shorter screws. Just had them. Here's one. Okay. Just start those. Yeah, this will work. Thought about bringing the impact gun over here, but maybe we don't want to do that. That would, yeah, might run into an issue with over tightening. So we're almost all the way there. Let's flip this guy around again, and we will do the remaining hardware on this side. This bearing has no milled side, so it doesn't matter which tab goes where, but it does matter what bolt goes where. The short bolt, since we're backwards here, or we're reversed from how we pulled it out of the machine, the short bolt is going to go on the side closest to you, and the long bolt is going to go on the side closest to me. must have missed some more fur there. Okay. So on this piece, get you guys a little more in frame. We're not going to tighten that bolt all the way down because we do have to take it off when we put our belt back in. But we do want to run all the slack out of it. I thought this was a speed wrench at first, and I tried to ratchet it, and it did not work. Yeah, it's okay. Baby tight, right there. And we're going to get the other bolt. We are going to tighten down. So that's going to locate everything off of this side frame. And we're going to let the other blue bearing for the opposite end of the assembly. It's just kind of floating right now, right? So we need to tighten these two bolts down right here. That bearing's going to seat on there, and then we can tighten the set screws, because right now we're allowed to walk a little bit. We're just looking for taking all of the slop or free play out of everything. If we tighten the set screws down before we got this bearing located, we could actually flex the frame, and that would not be good. We don't want to add any extra stress to the frame at that point. So we locate the bearing to the frame, and then we will locate it to the buffer brush. Where did my Allen wrench go? Right here. Snug it up. Okay. Okay. Timing belt coming in. Please. Little snug. Crazy. That one was a little more snug than the other belt. Yeah, that's all right. So with our 5/16 wrench, now we can go ahead and tighten these two bolts. I'm pulling up on the transfer roller, so I'm seating it against the adjuster screw. No biggie. Do not over tighten these screws. They're very small. They will snap, and that would not be good. Alright, so for our belt, timing belt idler, we're going to go lock washer, pivot arm, lock washer number 2, and a lock nut. 1/2 inch wrench. We're going to snug that down. We don't need an exorbitant amount of pressure on this timing belt. Again, this is not NASCAR. We're not going 500 miles an hour. We're just looking to take up belt slack. And we have achieved that. This looks good. All right. Very happy with this. The next step is going to be checking adjustment. And book spec on brush crush is, well, everything's 1/8 to 3/16, right? So what we're looking for, I don't know, yeah. Let me move you guys over. You can get a better shot. So what we're looking for in our adjustment, you see how I'm rotating the brush, and we're creating kind of a highlighted white line with the tips of the blue bristles right in here. We're looking for a line that's about 1/8 of an inch thick. 1/8 or just a tiny bit more. This looks like we might be a tiny bit over that. I've got a 1/8 drill bit sitting on top of the transfer brush, slowly rotating. We are just a tiny bit over 1/8, but only a fraction of an inch. So I'm really not going to worry about that. That's actually pretty good. So what we're going to do now, since we're happy with our adjustment, is we're going to tighten down these 1/4 bolts and lock our transfer brush onto the frame. Then we're going to flip it around. We're going to look at the transfer roller. That again should be, if we rotated the brush into the roller, we should see that crush line of about 1/8 of an inch. I guess the rule of thumb, or at least what I was taught or shown, was that if we roll the brush in this direction into the transfer rollers, we'll see that brush crush, that white line form. If we rotate it away, we should see a gap. I don't know if you guys should see a gap form in there. And that should be, so 1/8 brush crush this direction, and like 3/16 V-shaped open gap in the bristles in this direction. And we're pretty much there. So I'm very happy with that. Let's turn the thing over and we'll look at our transfer brush. Bring you guys in for better angle. So you guys are straight overhead, we're looking straight down. We've got our 1/8 inch. We've got our 3/16 inch. Pinch point right there. Be careful. I just squished a phalange. So this is looking good too. Awesome. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. We need to get the brush back in. Sometimes if you have a second pair of hands with you, things go a lot quicker. That's not an option for us today. Oh, and by the way, I did find the little screw for that drip pad that I missed, so we're good there. Let's bring in our 3/16 Allen wrench and socket and get this thing slammed back in. It's a little heavy, a little awkward. Come on, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to start with the outboard side screws into the frame. Come on. Oh, again, easier said than done. Just need to get some threads started, that's all. Alright, I got a couple threads started on this side. Situate my plastic washer. Good. Move over to the other side. Uh-oh. I got it crooked and now it's a little stuck. There we go. Back in. Get back in your home. Alright, got some threads started on that side. Oh, I have forgotten a very important step here. The top pivot links. Those need to be above. And right now they are not. Okay, well, not to worry. Backtracking slightly. Alright, pivot link is above our assembly. Now we can go back in. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Where's the bolt hole? Where is the bolt hole? I can't find it. Right there. There we go. Okay. So, just start the threads in there. Back to the other side and correct our mistake. It is no longer hand tight. A little extra pressure on the threads. No worries. Oops. Okay, pivot link is above our assembly now. Copy that, thank you. Let's get this bolt situated. Oh no, it's rotating. Hold on, pause. We have a trouble call I have to go get. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We are needing to, I dropped the screw. Okay. And I dropped the little plastic washer. I got it. Sorry for the interruption, duty calls. We had a 7-pin timeout because the pin setter was short. 1 pin. Ugh. Hold on. Okay. Attempt number 3. Oh, we dropped our pivot link too. That's okay. Excuse me. Alright, pivot link is above our assembly. Supporting the weight of the brush assembly with my left hand while threading in the bolt with my right hand. Good. Let's go ahead and tighten our lower pivot bolts here. Excuse me again. Good. Other side. Good. Now, for the extremely difficult, dreaded part, we have to pivot our brush so we can line up our link plate to the threads in the buffer frame. Complete concentration is required. Nope. Do over. This is probably the most difficult part. I am very nearly there, but slightly off. Enough to the point where the screw is not threading in. But I'm not going to let that discourage me. We will get it. We will struggle through this. Maybe we will see if we have a better time going at this from the other side. The threads are a little stiff on this, so getting it started is going to be fairly difficult. This is my least favorite portion of this procedure. Yeah, I dropped the bolt. It's okay, I got it. Might have to, I guess, do this kind of crisscross. If I can. I'm left-hand dominant, right? So a little more dexterity in that hand. So let's see if I can use my left hand to thread the bolt in. If I can see, you can't see where the threads are. Right there though. Yeah. Why will you not comply? Extra struggle day. I wonder. Well, feels like we're right there. Let's try that. Pause, 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 pause. We're going to get the tap and die kit and clean the threads up on this. I'm not sure if this is a 5/16 or a 3/8 diameter bolt. 3/8 by 16. No, okay. So this is going to be a 5/16 by 18. Let's see where that tap went. Yeah. I believe it's this one. Yep, 5/16 by 18. Okay. Yeah. Start on the back side, because this stud length is so short. It's just barely starting in through the tapered threads of the tap and die. Everything's falling apart today. No, well, maybe that's enough. It threads in by hand until the shoulder catches it. It might be clean enough. Let's do the other one. Where did it go? Right here. Yeah, this one is a little bit boogered. Would also help to start on the tapered thread side. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if that makes a difference. Okay, attempt number 12. This time, it's for real. Maybe. I'm going to put a disqualifier in there. 60% of the time it works every time. Yeah. It's so close. Will I be successful? Will I not be successful? Well, one way or another, I'm going to be successful. I have no doubt about that. Just how long is it going to take to get there. It may take longer than expected. Well, let's, maybe we'll have some more success on this side. I don't know. You know, there may be an easier way to do this that I just don't know about either. If you know an easier way, maybe you can share that with me. Because I would love for this to be less difficult than it currently is. Struggling to understand. I don't normally struggle as bad with this. Okay, that one started in there. Good. So, let's go to the other side. See if we can get that one too. Will it work? I don't know. Might need to flex it a little bit. But we're nearly there. Please? Please? Yeah, I'm not understanding why this particular side is being so difficult. Do I need to run it through the tap and die again? Wouldn't think so. So close, it's so close. Well, please. I don't know. The threads do look a little bit boogered. Not gonna lie about that. But I don't have, well, maybe. Hold on. Can we know that we can feed this through the tap and die. Starting in the tapered thread end. But we don't get enough thread further down to clear the booger out. I don't think I have a universal thread file. That would be ideal. Okay, so I got the threads. I threaded this thing in backwards through the tap and die. So we know our threads are good. Here. Might have been why we were fighting so much getting it out. One way or another, I will persevere. Oh, the bushing. Oh, I might be fighting with the bushing too. Aha. Okay. Another thing. Oh. Yeah, this one's beginning to win, as much as I don't want it to. I'm usually done at this point, but not today. Happy Saturday, everybody. I hope that you are not struggling as much as I am right now. Literally just need to get the thread to bite. I dropped the screw and I'm getting hand cramps too. Oh. Well, maybe we need to take a break here and walk away for a minute, grab a glass of water. I don't know. Alright, after a glass of water and just a little bit of fumbling and futzing, it's in. I just needed to take a break. I was getting mildly flustered. Not to the point of, full-on psychosis, but yeah. It's on. It's good. We're started. We're going to tighten our screws up for our top pivot links. And then we'll be one step closer to being done. Hooray! Thread it in by hand as far as I can go. Save a bunch of time that way. Good. That one's good. Other side. Little baby quarter turns. Yeah, I'm not sure why the threads are so stiff on this side. Not to worry. Yeah. Well, maybe we can put that on the to-do list on next year's tune-up is tap the threads out in the side frame and make sure that those aren't boogered up. I'm not going to do that now because we spent all this time just getting this thing back in, and I would hate to take it out and do that all over again, especially when we're this close to the finish line. It doesn't seem like it's a major issue, but it might be a little more helpful for next year's tune-up. Alright, those threads went loosey-goosey again. Let's run run them down by hand here. Speed our process up. Yeah, weird. I don't know. Just say thank you, and we'll move on. Alright, buffer brush is back in. Good deal. Adjustments look good. For transfer, let's check our brush crush. This side. Well, yeah, again, you guys are way over there and you can't see. Hold on, let me bring you in a little closer. Okay, we're going to try this one-handed again. So, we've got our straight edge level between our upper drive shaft wheel and our lower drive shaft wheel, and we're looking for, well, pardon me, we're looking for a specific amount of brush crush, or in this case, how much the brush is going to overlap the edge of our straight edge. And again, book spec is 1/8 to 3/16. I always go 1/8 and then just a tiny bit. Alright, so we're good. We've got 1/8. We've got 1/8 brush crush on this side and on that side. I measured it off camera. I had another trouble call I had to go attend to. But trust me that this is 1/8 left hand and right hand, so we're good. Let's go ahead and get our buffer brush drive belt back on. I'll try to not block this shot as much as possible, but it may be difficult. I don't own a tripod or some type of a head strap for my cell phone that can get you like my point of view or anything. And that'd be kind of weird walking around with a cell phone strapped to your head, but yeah, whatever. Alright, so it's going to go back in the same way it came out. We're going to go over between our buffer tack cam and proximity sensor, and we're going to stretch the belt on over the bottom, boing, right there. And then add a little bit of belt tension. I need my 9/16 wrench. I left that up here on the workbench somewhere. Right there. Okie doke, got the tools. We don't want a lot of tension in here. We need good firm tension. Make sure the belt doesn't slip. You know, again, it's not NASCAR. We're not going 300 miles an hour down the road at 9,000 RPM. We're good. This needs to be on there. Somewhat snug. The last thing is going to be our idler here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit better for that without getting too grainy. How's that? Can you guys see that okay? We're drifting. Slowly drifting. Cut. That's better. You guys were stuck in the quicksand and slowly sinking. Yeah, it wasn't good. Good thing I came along and saved you guys. Okay. So, you get the stud threaded in. And, 1/2 inch. This black plastic idler, the shaft that it sits on is eccentrically mounted. So we're going to rotate the mount shaft until we just barely touch the roller to the belt. And this is where I will need a 7/16 wrench too, because I need to hold that shaft in place. And I left it up on the bench. My arms are not 7 feet long. They're close. I'm about 1 foot short on wingspan. Right, there we go. Almost done. So we're not going to tighten that up just yet because we need to locate this roller right there. It just touched the belt right there. That's all I'm going for. So I'm going to hold the shaft in place and then tighten up the bolt. Okay, and then we got to go find our lock nut too. I don't know where it's at, but that's okay. I'll get that on off camera. You're not missing anything. It's just a freaking lock nut. So I think that that's probably gonna just about wrap it up for this section of our tune-up. Ooh, I need some dirt in there. Okay, nice and shiny now. And what we'll do is next Saturday. Oh, the drip pads! I forgot the drip pads. That's okay. At least we spotted it now. Well, we're not going to wrap it up now. We got drip pads to put in. I don't know. You guys saw them come out. You know how they're going to go in, right? I don't know if you really want to stick around and watch that, or if you guys are okay with not seeing that. That's really nothing interesting. It's just some screws and stuff. So, I don't know. All right, let's recap. We've got a new buffer brush, a new transfer brush, a new buffer drive belt. All the adjustments have been checked. The drip pads have been put back on. Let's see. Cleaner dispensing tip. Cool. All that's left is to get the side covers back on and the lids, and we'll see if we can find somewhere out there, out in the lanes, to run this thing, make sure everything's good. Alright, so after episode 2 on Lane Machine Tune-Up, we've got a touchscreen protector, we've got some tank filters, vac motor brushes, and a relay that we still need to do. I'm running out of steam for today. It's starting to get a little bit busier. I'm getting calls for other work-related things besides the lane machine here. So we're going to wrap it up. This is going to do. We'll get all this stuff next Saturday. Awesome. Thanks. Have a good one.